The chopper went down hard, a mangled mess of metal and fire at Masvingo Airport. This wasn't just any crash. This helicopter was meant for Constantino Chiwenga, Zimbabwe's vice president and Mnangagwa's right-hand man. Or is he? The incident sent chills down the spines of Zimbabweans already on edge from whispers of a power struggle brewing at the top. See, Mnangagwa and Chiwenga, they go way back. Comrades in arms, they ousted Mugabe together. But the throne only has room for one, and the whispers suggest Chiwenga might want it for himself. Now, every time a helicopter coughs in Zimbabwe, people look over their shoulders and whisper, was it just an accident? This crash, coming right after Mnangagwa's big birthday bash, felt like a very pointed message. Chiwenga, conspicuously absent from the festivities, cited spiritual reasons for his no-show. Yeah, right, we all know a power move when we see one. This wasn't just metal and fuel burning on that tarmac, it was trust. The trust between two men who once held the fate of a nation in their hands. Now, that trust is as shattered as that helicopter, and the pieces are unlikely to be put back together. Birthdays, a time for cake, for laughter, for awkward but well-meaning speeches from colleagues. Not so much when you're the president of Zimbabwe and your right-hand man decides to skip the party. Oh, and when I say skip, I mean he opted for a whirlwind tour of religious sites, claiming he needed to commune with the ancestors. Now, I'm no expert on ancestor worship, but I'm pretty sure even the most devout followers wouldn't fault a man for briefly stepping away to celebrate his buddy's birthday. This wasn't about spirituality, it was a statement. Chiwenga's absence spoke volumes. It was a very public display of displeasure, a slap in the face to Mnangagwa disguised as piety. And the message was clear. I don't answer to you, I answer to a higher power. The thing is, in Zimbabwe, that higher power can be a pretty potent force. It's a country where politics and religion are deeply intertwined, where whispers of curses and rituals carry real weight. By aligning himself with the ancestors, Chiwenga was playing a dangerous game, one that could have very real consequences for Mnangagwa. Zimbabwe's military. They're like that uncle who shows up to a family barbecue in full camo gear, just to remind everyone he's still got it. They've always been a powerful force, lurking in the shadows of the nation's politics. But with Mnangagwa and Chiwenga's bromance on the rocks, the military is caught in a delicate dance, unsure of who to pledge their allegiance to. See, Mnangagwa might be the president, but Chiwenga, he's got history on his side. He's a former military man himself, and his influence within the ranks runs deep. So you've got generals whispering to colonels, who are whispering to majors, and everyone's trying to figure out which way the wind is blowing. This uncertainty is a breeding ground for paranoia. Mnangagwa, never one to shy away from a good conspiracy theory, is starting to see enemies everywhere. And who can blame him? When your deputy might be plotting against you, and the guys with the guns haven't decided whose side they're on, it's enough to make anyone reach for the tinfoil hat. Section 4, the paranoid Prince Mnangagwa's international retreat. Remember when Mnangagwa first came to power? He was all smiles, shaking hands with world leaders, promising a new dawn for Zimbabwe. He was like that friend who swears they've turned over a new leaf after years of questionable life choices. You want to believe them, you really do. But there's always that little voice in the back of your head saying, yeah, we'll see. Well, it seems Mnangagwa's international charm offensive has hit a bit of a snag. Lately, he's been a bit scarce on the world stage. Skipping summits, sending his apologies to international gatherings. Word on the street is, the man's got a bad case of the jitters. You see, when you're constantly looking over your shoulder, worried about who's plotting your downfall, it's hard to put on a brave face and schmooze with dignitaries. Every handshake feels like a potential threat, every photo op a chance for your enemies to strike. Section 5, Faith and Fury, the unholy alliance gripping Zimbabwe, a land of breathtaking beauty, warm people, and a political landscape that could rival the most outlandish soap opera. And at the heart of it all, an unholy alliance, politics and religion, two forces that should never mix, locked in a passionate tango. On one hand, you've got the politicians, masters of spin, always ready to exploit any advantage. And on the other hand, the spiritual leaders, wielding their influence over a population deeply rooted in tradition and belief. This isn't just about incense and chanting, though. This is about power. The power to sway opinions, to control narratives, to decide the fate of a nation. Chiwenga, with his strategic retreats to sacred sites, he's figured out how to play this game. He's appealing to a force far stronger than any political party faith. And as for Mnangagwa, well, he's left scrambling, trying to find his footing in this new landscape where the lines between the spiritual and the political have become hopelessly blurred. It's a dangerous game they're playing, one where the stakes are higher than ever before.